What's good, everybody? It's your boy Royalty. We're back with another artist review today on the Audio Cloudz YouTube channel. Today we're going to discuss Anonymuz, who's a rapper based out of Broward County, Florida. One thing to note is I don't know what's up with Broward County or what's in the water or what, but they have produced at least 3 really great artists in recent memory, and that definitely says something. So, you know, first being xxx, RIP, second being Ski Mask, who was boys with xxx, and Anonymuz. So these 3 are now some of my favorite rappers out of Florida, especially in terms of newer artists. So I like Ski Mask and I liked xxx because their lyricism and their wordplay and their beat selection have always set them apart. They sound different enough and unique enough that they are, in my opinion, in almost no other category of music. Anonymuz is very similar, except I would have tuned more of his style and flow to more kind of like a Denzel Curry. But that doesn't subtract from what he's capable of doing. So I like him because, like I said, he's a fast spitter, but he doesn't rely on a watered down AABB format. Yes, some of his bars might follow that format, but his delivery and the way he's spitting very fast doesn't seem like he's relying on that, and he doesn't always, which is great. Second, I think that I also like him because he uses a lot of anime references in his raps. Matter of fact, his highest listened song on SoundCloud, being Evangelion X, is referenced to an anime. And I think anime references have become synonymous kind of with hip hop and rap. But, you know, some people either overdo it, some people do it just enough. This guy does it just enough. It's not thrown in your face, and everything seems very well placed, and I appreciate that as well. I'm a sucker for anime fans as well when it comes to who I like and who I don't. So he is a very small artist that gained buzz by just releasing free music, kind of gained a little bit of a cult following before he transitioned to his full-length projects. The first one being in 2016 named Vice City, followed by the Urameshi EP in 2017, and lastly There Is No Threat in 2019. The most notable feature between all 3 of them has to be Denzel Curry on this most recent album, There Is No Threat, and that's also one track that we're going to speak about later on. Recently as well, he's also made the Spotify playlist Sprite Way, which goes along with Sprite's campaign right now for fan-generated music or playlists. They're also having a podcast that goes alongside with it, discussing things with those artists. And that's a great look, man. That's a great look because, you know, there have been artists that have come from things like that, you know, and, you know, it just shows a hustle and a love from his audience. And that's always a good thing. That's always a good thing. Lastly is he seems to be very talented. I like everything he's doing, and he seems to be doing many things right, from the advertising of his music to, you know, staying in contact with his fans. Everything seems to be very well done. And with him, I feel like he's very close to becoming mainstream, although I don't think he needs to be, because he's in a very good lane right now. He's profitable. He's able to do something that I'm pretty sure he loves to do. And I think he's good where he's at. I've always said to myself that I want to be, you know, kind of like where he's at. I want to be able to potentially be recognized, but, you know, not really. Be able to still live my daily life and, you know, kind of fly under the radar. That's kind of where I would aim to be if I was to continue rapping. But, you know, he's living the life and he's doing him, and I appreciate that. So more power to you, Anonymuz. So next, we're going to talk about spotlight tracks. So the first spotlight track is going to be No Threat, featuring Denzel Curry off of the most recent album. This is here because it's simple but a catchy beat. Excellent feature to have on one of your albums, because Denzel is really a really phenomenal rapper. And I think it was very well placed on this track. So more power to them for figuring that out. There's also a great story behind this track, and it seems to always have him being on top, but nobody ever standing a threat to him or being a threat to him. And that's a cool story, because that's a cocky yet great way to get your feelings across. You know what I mean? They do a good job on this track. Next is going to be Uncaged, from somewhere in 2015, 2016. I couldn't get an exact date. I like this song primarily because of his aggressive flow. It was for a Killing Spree competition, but it feels like its own track. He name drops a couple people, but regardless of that, it kind of feels like its own song. It kind of feels like he had something to say here, and that's definitely great for a track for a competition. He also is relentless with his lines. It's pretty much non-stop. There's a gap in the middle between the kind of two verses, but it's pretty much non-stop lyrical heat, and another thing I appreciate. Lastly is going to be Evangelion X, released in 2014. While this is one of his oldest songs on SoundCloud, it's also the most listened track, like I mentioned before. It's a slow beat, which allows him to fill the gaps with his vocals, and that also allows his lyrics and his vocals to be the primary focus of this track, and that's always awesome as well. He spits at different speeds throughout the track, which allows listeners to hear different vibes that he was on, either during recording or while he was filling out this song. Another A+ from me. Lastly, we're going to talk about the noteworthy tracks. So in the noteworthy tracks, we have the song Darth Vader, released in 2017. Now this track is on here because it is just raw, straight raw, and it is great, but definitely not one of my favorites. Awesome beat. I kind of got hooked in by the little bit of the intro, the beat intro, and it goes without saying, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd as well. Great track. Now the second noteworthy track is going to be Toguro, which was released in 2016. This is straight fast lyrical attack, awesome showcase of his ability as a rapper, and this track is almost made it to spotlight, especially because it was one of my first tracks that kind of got me hooked to his style. This is definitely one to check out. This is literally borderline in between noteworthy and Spotify. Like, all of these tracks that I've mentioned are literally just the tip of the iceberg. He has a whole bunch of other songs similar sounding in terms of, you know, aggressiveness and style and flow in his discography on SoundCloud. So I would definitely check out all of his songs. Literally just hit play on his tracks and let them play. Some of the ones that I highlighted on my playlist are also awesome, if these aren't the only ones. Yeah, so I would definitely check out Anonymuz. He's an awesome dude. Everything I've seen from him, he seems very genuine. And he seems like he's staying in contact and keeping an ear to the ground in order to progress as a musical artist, which is also, again, thumbs up from me. Yeah, so thank you guys for listening and paying attention to yet another artist review. My name is Royalty. You can also call me Chris. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know anybody that you want me to review or you want me to check out in the comments, or you know, you can hit me up on any of my social media accounts. That would be greatly appreciated. Check out Anonymuz down below in the description. This is Royalty. Later.